Welcome everybody to Big Ben and Ty Sports Cave. As you can see, our producer and Big Ben is feeling a little bit under the weather today, so it's just me and Wade. We don't have all the fancy stuff today because it's been one heck of a day today for me. So before we get started with Rivermen talk and stuff, Wade, go ahead and give us a good shout out to our friends at Bayleaf Indian Restaurant and Bar.
Definitely. Big shout out to Bayleaf Indian Restaurant and Bar, located in the downtown Peoria area next to the riverfront, just a few blocks away from Carver Arena. A great place to take your family for a pregame meal, something different, something really good. They got great food there, many options for you and your family, with different spice levels. Have you have the option of making the food non-spicy, or if you like spice, you'll definitely like it. Um, like I said, just great food and atmosphere and great service. Uh, get on down there, check them out, and also just a quick shout out to Eric for winning the gift card this past show. Uh,
Yeah.
can't wait for you to get down there and check it out yourself and try some food. Um, you'll be satisfied, I promise.
Yeah, so get on down to Bayleaf, and also if the Rivermen are playing, they can go down there before and park their vehicles for free and walk up to Carver Arena. I don't know if I would want to do that tonight. It's a little chilly tonight,
Yeah.
but get on down there and get some good Indian food. So we'll go right into the suitcase report. Suitcase report is only Massey. I have in Iowa. That's the only one I have on my list here. I didn't see anything else happen. I was thinking maybe last night Divine maybe got called up again because we didn't see him. So I was thinking, well, maybe he got called up and it hasn't been released yet. But I did not see anything today with him being called up. So the only one I have is Massey. Now the ice pack report sort of changed today. Excuse me. Chartrain and Martin, of course, was the ones that have been on the ice pack report. And the new one today is Terry Ryder went on the 14-day IR as of today. We also signed Kulin Daikawa. I hope I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Daikawa, yeah, something like that. He was signed today. He is a center, so he's a forward. Uh, my guess is I'm guessing he's a college kid, Wade. I'm guessing that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
This is where we usually see a lot of the college kids come up and kind of get their tryout and see what they can do. I mean, it kind of stinks for him because it is the last game of regular season um, to do that tryout. But hey, he might light the world on fire tonight. Who knows? Wade, do you think probably putting Terry on the IR is probably just give him some rest before the playoffs?
I mean, it's an interesting move that might kind of force him to miss the first round. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but he might be forced to miss the first round with just going on IR today, at least. So, that it kind of sucks. That's a good veteran defender that we are now down, already down Josh Martin. So, but hopefully we get Josh Martin back at the start of round one. But yeah, not great news. So wish Terry Ryder speedy recovery if something is bothering him. Something tells me that this might be a little bit more than rest if they're putting him on the IR this late, because they could have just gave him a healthy scratch if they wanted to rest him. And so,
Yeah, yeah. I will say JM showed up last night.
yeah, it was nice to see him
He
there.
did show up. I did want to ask you a question though. Do you think he deserves an A?
Look, no disrespect to JM, like I said. I mean, he has my full respect. I, I just, I don't know. I don't know what kind of message that sends to a guy that's only been there for about like 4 or 5 games, wearing a letter. Look, I know his history and everything, but I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. But I'm
Yeah,
not the coach, so
yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with you. I was thinking to myself, what kind of message does that send to the team? Like, oh, JM got the alternate captain, so you can just show up whenever you want to and get one of them, or and he's only been there for, like you said, 4 or 5 games. I personally, I think there's other players on the team that deserves their A. Um, I've always been a Braden Barker fan. Always been.
yeah,
I think he deserves his A back. That's just my opinion on that. You got guys like, well, Martin was already an A. He's hurt. I'm trying to think who else, right now on the roster could deserve one. And honestly, the way he's playing and the way he is outside of playing hockey, helping McChesney out and stuff like that. I mean, I'd have been okay if he would have gave Wiesner an A. He's
yeah,
been playing the hell of a game since he's been with us. He's been more cool headed. He's very good on the face off. I think he only lost maybe 2, 3 face offs last night that he took. So I mean, I don't know. Give Pietrowski an A. It's just kind of, it makes you scratch your head a little bit. And
Mikey Gillette, is
oh, yeah, like Mike. Yeah, Mike Gillette. He was there in the beginning of the year, and he got called up, and but you also got Garrett Devine. Does he deserve an A? Does McChesney deserve his A back? I mean, I would think so,
yeah,
but like I said, it just my opinion. And my opinion is worth nothing because I'm not I'm not the coach. I'm not anything in there. So and like I've said before, Gee knows what he's doing. So maybe that was a message to the team, like, hey, this is what you got to do to deserve an A. I don't know. I'm not sure on that.
now if it was Alex
Um,
Hagaman coming back, okay.
well, yeah, but I think if Alec Hageman was coming back, he wouldn't be wearing an A.
No, no, you get that, and I think Bear would gladly hand him to C. Honestly, um,
Yeah. And Anthony has a comment here. JM was ready to fight everything and anything last night, which it's good to see that fire in him. From coming back, but does he really deserve that A? That's my I guess that's my question. And people that are listening, maybe you can chime in on the conversation. Does JM deserve that A? I mean, it just kind of dumbfounded me when I saw that last night.
yeah,
So, uh, and hi, Austin. Austin says hello. Big supporter of our show, and we appreciate that. So we're gonna go right into the opponent outlook. This is usually Big Ben's area, but like I said, he's feeling a little bit under the weather today, so bear with me. Tonight we have Macon versus Fayetteville, Birmingham versus Knoxville, Pensacola versus Evansville, Huntsville versus Quad Cities, and then of course we have Roanoke versus Peoria tonight. Uh, with that being said, let's get right into the playoff picture. Wait, the playoffs are set.
yep,
Uh, Macon won last night. Quad City lost, so that pretty much put the coffin in the life of Quad City's playoff hopes. And Macon is in the playoffs. So I I'll let you talk here in a second after I say this. I think we'll be facing Macon first round.
I think that's a very distinct possibility. We got two options with Quad City and Marksman being out for eighth place, and that's Macon Mayhem, and that's Knoxville Ice Bears. Now, if Macon Mayhem loses their game tonight against Fayetteville, no matter what, we will be facing Macon Mayhem, regardless what Knoxville does. But if Macon Mayhem win and Knoxville loses their game against Birmingham Bulls tonight, we will be facing the Knoxville Ice Bears in the first round. So, it's there's no lock. I mean, both scenarios are plausible. We just don't know who we're going to see quite yet, but we will be seeing one of those two teams. I'm leaning towards Macon Mayhem, but they're kind of
Yeah,
on a roll right now. They could very well sweep um, Marksman, and Bulls could very well beat Knoxville. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. We'll find out after our game tonight who we play.
yeah, and like I said, I'm looking at the standings now, and so they're just gonna do 1, 8, 2, 7,
Yep.
3. Okay, so I thought that's what they were gonna do. So I mean, if Roanoke wins tonight and Huntsville loses, they'll be in second place. So they would have to face possibly either Knoxville or Macon on that. As of right now, Huntsville is in second by 1 point. Uh, and then Huntsville is probably kind of looking like we're looking. We're looking at that seventh and eighth place. Who are we going to face the first round? Anthony said, tonight determines whether we be facing Knoxville or Macon. He says he's good either way, which I think we're good either way. I will say this though: if our offense doesn't start scoring more than one goal, I'd be worried about facing anybody.
Right.
So um, that's got to be changed. And Wade's got to agree with me 100%. The power play has got to change. I,
Absolutely.
I I don't know what's going on with the power play. I don't know if he doesn't have the right personnel out there or what's going on with that. But it is just it's not doing the job. And half the time we're chasing the puck more than we are actually in the offensive zone and getting pucks to net. Um, but kind of going back to the standings here and possible playoff um, matches. What's going to be interesting is the so third will play seventh. The ones that I always like watching is the fourth and fifth,
Yeah.
or the fifth and sixth, isn't it? Um, that's going to be those are always the fun games, watching them, the middle of the pack, because you just don't know. You don't know who's going to come out on top on that one. Um, like unlike last year, Evansville beat number one. Wasn't it number one or number two?
Well, they beat number one and number two.
Well, yeah, but first round they beat
Number two.
yeah, number two. And so yeah, so I mean, who knows? I mean, Macon and Anthony says Henry scares me though. He's gotten much better since he left. Well, yeah, I think because he got time to to relax a little bit. I honestly think he came back too soon off of that injury that he had. In my opinion, I really do. I think he came back a little too soon. He was more gun shy, and now that he got sort of the rest he needed, he's back to his old ways, and his old ways is scoring goals.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's going to be kind of scary if we have to play Macon, because if he gets on a roll, man, it's hard to stop him. Um, but yeah, I mean, out of all of them, like I said, we can face Macon, we can face Knoxville. But if playoffs would start today, we would play Macon, and then Huntsville would play Knoxville, Roanoke would play Birmingham, and then Evansville would play Pensacola.
Which that would be a hell of a matchup, Evansville and Tennessee.
Yeah, yes, it would be. That's why I said earlier, I always kind of keep my eye on the fourth and fifth, because those games you just don't know. It could go either way. Usually, 1 versus 8. Usually, which way it's going to probably lean. Second and seventh, usually which way it's going to lean. But like I said last year, Knoxville came out of nowhere, or Evansville came out of nowhere. So, all you got to do is get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then it's a whole new season, pretty much. It's just getting the right personnel to get hot, right goalie tandem to get hot. Um, so yeah, I mean it's very interesting playoff picture right now. It's going to be very fun to watch how it develops. Um, and I can't wait until the first round to see who we face. But I know there's some questioning on our offense here in Peoria. Wade, so with all that being said, we'll get more into discussing last night's game here in just a little bit. So with all that being said, Wade, what game are you kind of watching tonight and your featured face off?
We got a couple of good ones that's hard to decide. Really some great games with seeding implications. Um, of course, I have a personal interest in the Knoxville Birmingham game. Obviously, Pensacola and Evansville. Again, they play tonight. That's going to be a great game. It's kind of hard to settle on one, but I think I am going to settle on Thunderbolts and Pensacola because um, that has seeding. That has home ice advantage. I do believe on the line. I'm not sure who owns the tiebreaker between the two teams. I want to say Evansville owns the tiebreaker between the two, so they might have home ice locked up. But that kind of sends a message too. If you sweep your opponent right before you see him in the playoffs, you know
Yeah,
that would be interesting to say the least. I do want to see where how that game goes. Like you said, my focus is on the middle of the pack too, with Knox or not Knoxville, Quad City and Marksman being eliminated, having our playoff team set. Now I'm kind of interested in to see where like second, third, and fourth shake out. And like I said, of course we have a personal interest in the Birmingham Bowl Knoxville Ice Bear game because Knoxville winning and making losing, we could be seeing Knoxville as an opponent. So definitely interested.
yeah,
I do think you might still see a few spot changes here yet in the seating. Seating is definitely not set, and it's going to be an interesting final game. So yeah, that's who I got my eyes on.
yeah. As of right now, Evansville leads the current season series with them. They're 3-0.
Yeah,
So Evansville would, if somehow be a tiebreaker there, Evansville would get that tiebreaker because they would be 3-1 against Pensacola um, on current season. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to see these point standings still, man. They're crazy because
yeah,
like Roanoke and Evansville are tied right now. So they're tied right now at 67 points. Third and fourth. So does Evansville win tonight and the Rivermen do their job and beat Roanoke? Does Evansville go ahead Roanoke? So I mean, there's like you said, there's some swapping that could happen tonight. If Huntsville
Evansville, yeah,
loses,
can jump from fourth to second. I mean,
yeah, yeah, exactly. So if Huntsville loses and Roanoke loses, then you got Evansville right behind us. So it's going to be a wild last night of hockey when it comes to standings because that could jumble up everything. Roanoke could go from facing if the playoffs started. They'd be go from playing Birmingham to they could be playing uh, Pensacola.
Yep.
So it's crazy how this can turn out when it comes to the standings tonight. It's crazy. Um, I know Peoria, like I said, we all knew Peoria has first place wrapped up. There's no doubt about that. Um, and then, like I said, from second, pretty much second until we get to eighth place, the teams are just so close,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be crazy. Before we start talking about last night's game, I just want to say Peoria Speedway did cancel tonight for their. It was supposed to be their opening night tonight. They are canceled, of course, because of the rain. I have a gut feeling that they will not be racing for a while because it is supposed to rain pretty much all this coming up week, and so we need it to dry out a little bit so we can hopefully go racing here soon. I know coming up, I think it next weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the Illini 100 at Farmer City. I believe that's when it is. So we might make an announcement on our Facebook page. But I just wanted to get that out to our if any of our racing fans are listening today. Uh, that Peoria is canceled, and I don't believe anywhere else is racing tonight. So we'll move on to last night's game. Peoria Rivermen lost 3-1 to the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. And honestly, I want to say the defense looked good. To me, they looked okay. I mean, I didn't see. Yes, there was a couple times where it's like, oh, what are you doing? But honestly, Wade, I didn't see a point in the game where I was like, I'm blaming 100% on the defense on that one. There was a couple times, maybe that one goal that I think it was the second one, I think, that Jack let in. I know the first one that he let in, he was mad. He's mad at himself. I think he knew he should have stopped that one, and I could just tell he was just dejected. I mean, he just was
He's normally
mad.
a pretty composed goalie when he lets one in. You could see him lose a little bit of composure on that
Yeah,
goal, and I probably would have been upset if I would have let that get in myself. That's the one that I guarantee you, if you ask Jack, he'll be like, "I want that back, and I want it back now. I can stop that puck." I mean, almost 10 out of 10 times. That puck
yeah,
has been saved, and it happens. But yeah, that one, I just Jack was slow getting over, and he just didn't read the play well for whatever reason, and it beat him.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, when I saw him just, I mean, you could tell he was mouthing underneath his mask. He was mad at himself. And you know what? And I like seeing that in a way because that means he cares.
Yeah,
You know, usually though, you'll see Jack, he'll just kind of, you know, do one of these numbers and then, he gets right focused. And that's another reason why I like Jack too, because it doesn't, like you said, usually it doesn't bother him to the point where he gets off. But last night that goal did. It kind of tilted him off a little bit. Um, but you know what? He came in clutch on some other saves though too. I mean, there was a lot of them where I thought it was going to go in, to be honest, and he made a great save on them. So I have a gut feeling. Like I said, we'll kind of talk about tonight's game in a little bit, but I have a gut feeling we'll probably see Tino in net tonight. Um, Wade, what else can you take from last night's game? Like I said, the defense to me looked pretty solid for the most part.
yeah.
Um, I think you'd have to agree with me on this one too. Is just our offense just needs help. I don't know why it's gotten this far, but go ahead, Wade, and say what you need to say.
I got two big takeaways. For one, I am fully confident in our defense and our goaltending. I really don't have too many worries of that. Um, the shots last night we held them to were 7 in the first, 5 in the second, 7 in the third. Our defense was playing great. Our defensive breakdown on that second goal was due to an offensive breakdown and turning the puck over. My second big takeaway is where the hell is our offense gone? Just like I've been saying in all these other podcasts, if we're scoring only 1 to 2 goals, we're in trouble. I don't care who's backstopping the net. Tino, uh, Boss, Connor, Eric Levine. I don't care who's back there. You got to give your goalie more support than 1 to 2 goals. In the last 5 games, we haven't gotten above 2 goals once, except one time, and that was because of an empty net goal that got us 3. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Going into the playoffs, if you're only going to put 1 or 2 pucks in the net, then you're asking to be sent home. So I don't know
yeah,
what, and a lot of it again is due to an abysmal power play that is non-existent. That actually turned around and gave up a shorthanded goal. Um, we were 0 for 4 on the power play. Had our opportunities. We had our
yeah,
opportunities all night long to get more than 1 goal. Biggest one being Ernst. It's the third time I seen him on a breakaway and try to flip the puck in top shelf and end up flipping the puck over the net. Obviously, the move ain't working. Pick a different move. I mean,
yeah,
I love Ernst to death. He's a sniper on his one timer by the circles, but that roof shot that he's trying to nail is just not working. It's clearly not working. Um, and that was a big moment in the game, and to not even get the puck on net, that's disheartening.
yeah,
So you seen what Carson Riddle did with our only goal of the game. I thought he had a great breakaway. He got the Rosick to open up his 5 hole, and he shoved it right on through and got
yep.
well. He didn't do nothing fancy. He just got the goalie to
Mm-mm.
shift over, waited for his opportunity, and put the puck in between his legs. Sometimes you don't have to get fancy to put the puck in the net. And that's what I want
Yeah,
these
no.
guys to understand. You don't have to do some hot shot move, some fake spinorama. I'm going to do some tricky stuff. That you don't always have to do that to put the Carson Riddle did a pretty basic move to get the goalie to open up his 5 hole and put it in the net. I
Yeah,
mean, it's frustrating.
and well, and also what's crazy is our shots on goal. We had 26 shots on goal last night. Usually in the past, we would get 25 shots in 2 periods, and we would be almost 40 shots a game. Now we're lucky to even get over 30 shots a game. It just seems like we're not getting shots on net. I know a couple times, Ernst would wind up, to let one go, and it gets blocked. And it's like, come on, man, find the lane. It's like once he gets it, he just tries to shoot it around the guy, and sometimes that just doesn't work. Um, and I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows. I mean, he's been around for years, and I could see a couple times he was frustrated. Well, it's one thing to be frustrated, but what are you going to do about it? Like, are you just going to keep doing it, or are you going to, okay, I need to skate over here a little bit more, then shoot it? Because right now, you know, the rail yard dogs look like Evansville out there blocking shots left and right. Uh, and then we had Roanoke had 18 shots on goal um, last night. And of course, Boss went 16 for 18 on that because one was an empty netter. The three was an empty netter. Um, yeah, I just don't know. So, like I'll go down the shots total. Like McChesney had 5 shots. Ernst had 2. Dennis had 1. Carson Riddle had 1. So he was batting 100% last night. He had 1 shot on goal and 1 goal. So Mike Gillette had 4 shots. Connor Schmuel had 1 shot. Piotrowski had 1 shot. Gunnar Moore, the new guy, got 2 shots. Griffin Fox had 3, and then Alec Bear had 4 shots on goal. Uh, and Kyler Fenton had a shot on goal as well, and Terry Ryder had a shot on goal. Um, so I mean that it's not like people are not getting shots off. It's just it to me it's like they're looking for the pass before they shoot.
What it
They're looking for that.
is the decision making with the puck. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Turning the puck over, the decisions with the passes. I mean, again, even when we weren't missing guys, passes were still off. Passes were behind guys, and guys' skate couldn't get the puck on their stick, hopping their stick, and even executing shots like not having a good shooting lane, but still throwing the puck at net, not getting through. It's just like they're trying to. It's like they're overthinking things out there, and they're not just playing their game. They're looking for that perfect shot, trying to get too fancy. It's just like you make those 1 or 2 quick passes and just let it rip. I mean, instead of just skating around in circles, trying to find that perfect opening, it's just like make those 1 or 2 quick passes, and that's what I would, if I was a coach, that's what I would challenge them. No more than 3 passes before you shoot the puck. That's the max. You know,
yeah,
let's we got to start getting more confident, putting that puck on net, and then here's a novel idea: when you do get to the rebound, that might be helpful too. It's the little things like that on offense that ain't clicking. We're finally starting to click on the defensive side of things. Um, More consistently. Our goaltending is there. We're still not doing the little things right offensively to be effective on a consistent basis. We're just not
yeah,
executing our game, and we're turning the puck over far too often, and we're not executing on the power play. Sometimes it looks like we're not even on the power play when we're out there. So
yeah,
just got to
yeah,
clean that up, guys. They absolutely got to clean that up for the playoffs, or it's not going to be a fun ride in the playoffs. Might be a quick
yeah,
one.
yeah. So, not trying to cut the show a little short, but I just noticed the time and I got some other things I got to get to. Um, so they play tonight, 7:15 versus Roanoke. I'm just gonna say, Wade, let's go ahead and get into our big three tonight for tonight's game, and then we'll wrap it up here. So go ahead with your big three, Wade.
Yeah, on my big three, it's all going to be focused on the offensive side because that's what we need to do. We need one cleaner passes. Got to start making better, and that starts from our end through the neutral zone to once we get into our zone. We got to start controlling the puck better and finding those getting off cleaner passes to each other more accurately. That goes a long way to setting up the offense. Key number 2 is uh, putting the puck on the net and getting to the rebounds. We got to get those second chance opportunities on these goalies. We can't just be one shot and done and turning tail and going back to our zone. We need that sustained offensive pressure. Got to start getting to the rebounds a lot more often. And then I'm not even going to say special teams. I'm specifically going to say power play. Uh, we went from having one of the strongest, best power plays in the league to having one of the worst power plays in the league. That's got to change. We had 4 opportunities last night in a 1 goal game, and we looked pretty bad on all 4 power plays. So, I mean, we got to change that up, guys. I mean, it really is kind of starting to unnerve me a bit that we can't get more than 2 goals a game. So that's what I want to see. I want to see better passing. I want to see second chance opportunities, and I want to see a good power play tonight. Those are my 3 Qs. My players to watch for: number one, Michael McChesney. He had 5 shots last night, as you indicated. We do good things when Michael McChesney puts the puck in the net. So we can kind of build off what he does, especially if he gives us that first goal. I think we can do good things, and so I'm looking at him. I'm also looking at Griffin Fox. Really need Griffin Fox to come through these last games. He's picked up his play a little bit, um, getting a little more physical and better on the defensive side of things. Now I want to see his offense pick up. I want to see Griffin Fox put the puck in the net again. We all know Griffin's capable of that. He's a good offensive player. I want to see him get more chances on that. I don't see him putting a puck on the net as often as he should. So I really want to see Griffin Fox get involved in the offensive side of things. And then lastly, I'm going to say our captain, Alec Bear. You are our captain. Lead by example. Go out there, work your ass off tonight. Um, Keep putting the puck on the net. Set up. We know that Bear can dish the pass with the best of them. So set the boys up for success here, Alec. You're second in assists, so we know what you're capable of with the puck on the stick. Um, Quit doing the little turns, repeatedly in your zone,
Yeah.
and get the puck off your stick either towards the net or towards a teammate. Um, so those are my 3 guys um, that I got highlighted.
All right. So my big three, usually what I say: control the neutral zone. If we can control the neutral zone, good things happen for this team. And we started really well last night controlling the neutral zone, and then it just kind of went away. My second is, of course, play all 60 minutes. Don't take a play off. Play the full 60 minutes, and good things will happen there too. Um, my third one is find the shooting lanes. You've got to find them. They're there. You just got to find them. There's too many of our shots getting blocked, and I that is my third one is, like I said, find the shooting lanes and execute on the shooting lanes. Excuse me. The 3 players I'm going to highlight. One is J.M. Pietrowski, because you're here now. You're wearing an A. Prove it. Prove it. Prove to us that you have an A. He had 1 shot on goal last night, and I think he needs to kind of maybe step up his game a little bit too. If you're going to be in that leadership role, it's kind of like what Wade said about Alec. Set him up for success. My second one, and I'm going to say Braden Barker. I've been enjoying watching Braden play these last couple weeks coming off the IR. Um, and he's giving it 110% out there. So that's good to see. Uh, and I'm gonna say I think we'll see Tino in net. So if I am right, we'll see Tino. I'm gonna highlight Tino. He has a little pep in his step. When he came off of the bench last week for warmups, he seemed like he was ready to go, and he played very well last week um, against Evansville, and I think that's a good sign. Let's just say that's a good sign to see out of Tino, and hopefully, if he does get the start, we see the old Tino making saves that he needs to make and keep us into the game. So that is my big three. Wade, do you have anything before we kind of wrap it up here?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Bart Rogers making our Hall of Fame last night. That was a pretty awesome ceremony they put on. Nice to see those guys on the big screen say the things they said about Bart. It was a really cool ceremony, and we are lucky to have a guy such as Bart Rogers running the show. I mean, he's a Class A guy, top notch owner. So shout out to Bart Rogers, and also tonight going to be Ron Hoover making the Rivermen Hall of Fame as well. So I'm excited to see Ron Hoover get inducted into the Rivermen Hall of Fame. I was a big fan of his back in the day, so that's going to
Yeah.
be awesome to see that happen for him. Those are my quick
Yeah.
shout outs.
Alrighty. So, like I said, a little shorter show today, but like I said, Ben is out sick, and so on behalf of myself and Wade, and of course Ben, hopefully he gets to feeling better here soon. Thanks for liking, sharing the show. Like I said, we got things kind of cooking. Race season is coming up, so we'll be kind of transitioning over to race season here soon. So, like I said, stick with us with that. And I hope we see you at Carver Arena tonight. It's the last game of the regular season. So get out there and support your Peoria Rivermen. Also, next Tuesday is the opening night for Peoria Chiefs. Might be a little wet and cold, but they are supposed to be opening up their season next Tuesday. So, like I said, thank you for liking and sharing the page and the show. Y'all enjoy your Saturday night. And Wade, we always try to keep it which style on this podcast?
We always keep it Riverman style.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.